What up, Wolves? Blade Master here, and I'm here with a guest of honor, or should I say strength and honor.
Oh yeah, nice one.
I'm here with Maximus Decimus Meridius. What's up, man?
All good. Just got my ass kicked in your tournament yesterday because of the fucking snow in the forest, so not too happy about it, but
It's all good.
but it was a fun series of games. Absolutely, it's always fun to be able to try different types of maps and different types of maps and different types of weather settings because
Yeah, we don't see that often, especially in like tournament.
No.
play.
No, and for good reason. I think fighting on snow is horrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, all in good Christmas spirit. It was a nice initiative having a Christmas tournament, nice and cozy.
Yeah, exactly. And some pretty good players came in. We're playing, or we're
Yeah.
watching the replay between Llewelin of Agartha and Diplomatt. So two of the best players in Rome. Would you say?
Oh, absolutely. I would give the edge to Llewelin just because he has been playing longer and he has been more consistent. I don't know if people know this, but Diplomatt is very new to the game actually. He's been doing very well for himself, but I think he only started playing in January or something like that.
Yep.
And Llewelin has been playing since he was 5 and raised in a Russian gulag with the original Shogun.
Yeah.
So he's definitely one of the players that, but a lot of I don't think a lot of the American and English players know about Llewelin because he's doing a lot of Russian tournaments that don't get a lot of exposure. I
Yeah,
think
they
that's
don't
too
get
bad
any
because
exposure, but you get some
Yeah.
really good players there.
the games are just so great, and you will see. I think the Russian players, in terms of understanding the game and the metagame, they are just slightly better than the rest of the international community.
I think so too. Yeah.
You'll see, like the thing with denying charges and using speed bump units and going in with a cavalry charge before engaging with the main infantry. You only saw that in the recent tournaments after patch 14, patch 15. But that has been going on since the game came out in the Russian tournaments, from what
Wow.
I've seen.
So slightly better is kind of an understatement. They're definitely hands
It
down
actually
better.
is because it is Total War on a whole nother level. You'll see games that are much shorter. The micro is better, and I don't really know why. I can't explain it. It's just it's a different way of playing, much more aggressive from
Yeah.
what I've seen.
Yeah,
Like Panda
definitely.
Warrior, he's a great player as well. But Panda Warrior sort of uses the whole spectrum of being super aggressive or being super defensive when he needs to. But the Russian players, they just go full on, super aggressive all the time.
So in this matchup, Llewellyn is playing as Parthia and Diplomat is playing as Egypt. And of course, even though this was a holiday-themed tournament, they decided to not put snow. How nice.
Oh man.
Anyways, let's start discussing the builds. Llewellyn has brought 3 Persian light archers, it looks like. Total of 4 Median Cav, I would say, and a couple of Royal Cataphracts. No, 1 Eastern Cataphract and 1 Royal Cataphract Gen. Very surprisingly, only brought 1 Mercenary Sarmatian Horse Archer, so very light on the Horse Archer front. It looks like he's brought 6 Parthian swords, if I'm not mistaken. He's definitely brought 3 Hillmen, and the rest are, so that's 4 Parthian swords and 3 Hillmen, and 1 Eastern Spearman. That is a really weird build.
And that's something that you will see from these Russian players. You will see builds that you haven't seen a lot of other players use. Like, this is a weird Parthia build.
Exactly. Oh, and 1 Indian War Elephant, of course. So he spent the extra
Yep.
money on an Indian War Elephant. But yeah, definitely a
And
weird
that,
build.
that very weird, but let's see how it works. For Diplomat, we have flanks consisting of Levi Thureos
User
spears.
entered your channel.
Very cheap and very good
User left
Thureos.
your channel.
Then we have the standard Thureos spears. For cavalry, he has 4 citizen cavalry and 1 Ptolemaic cavalry. His main line is a center of 6 thorax swords, backed up by 2 Egyptian pikes in the front. For skirmishers, he has 2 Nubian bows and 2 mercenary Rhodians. Very nice to bring the mercenary Rhodians, and a Levi Thureos in the center. So this build should be able to both push and engage the Parthians at range and also keep them away. I quite like how I see Diplomat do this a lot. He deploys with pikes in the center, so his skirmishers are protected, and then he puts the cavalry behind his lines in the rear, so his swords can't get charged by cavalry. So very nicely, a very nice formation here by Madslink, I think, and also him being spread out like this is going to enable him to take a lot of missile fire from Parthia.
Yeah, that's one thing that we see pretty often. Like, players are not very they're not afraid to deploy their men in super thin lines, and
Yeah.
with the Egyptian pikes like covering the center, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Absolutely. This could be very dangerous if you didn't have pikes. because then the cataphracts would just wreck his swords in seconds and get at his skirmishers. But
Exactly.
doing it like this in the layered approach, he actually has 4 lines of one line of pikes, then a line of swords, a line of skirmishers, and the levithyraeus. So there's always something that's going to be able to engage and do damage to the cataphracts when they come in.
Alright, so shall we start the match? Let's go in.
Let's.
3, 2, 1.
I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, exactly. 2 really, really good players.
Yep.
Memkin's or Diplomat's put his pikemen in pike formation right off the bat, but that could be pretty. That could work against his favor because those Persian light archers can just destroy them. Maybe if they had their pike phalanx off, they could use their shields a bit better. But I'm not sure if that would be really effective.
The Egyptian pikes are just going to die anyway to to anything and everything at range. So maybe it could have made a small difference, but I'm not sure.
Also, one thing really surprising is Llewelin has not brought Parthian foot archers. He's instead brought the cheaper Persian light archers. But as we both know, like Parthian foot archers are so much better for 40 talents more.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The extra 5 damage is massive. And those extra 40 talents, I mean, since he has brought units like Hillman and Eastern Spearmen, I don't see why he would bring the Persian light archers instead. And the Parthian foot, they have precision shot also, I believe.
Yep, that's what makes them so deadly.
Yep, 47 missile damage all day.
So Llewelin is moving up to the left with his mercenary sarmation. He's not really engaging.
His one.
Yeah, his one mercenary.
Horse archer. It's not going to be able to do much, but that might just have been on elephant patrol. So in case Egypt brought an elephant, but Egypt wouldn't bring elephants against Parthia. So I'm not really sure what he's thinking with this one unit.
It'll be pretty. I mean, if anyone can actually do well with one mercenary sarmation horse archer, I would guess it's Llewelin. So let's see how well he does. But what do you think about his Indian royal elephants? Do you think they'll be able to hit the Egyptians well?
Super risky against Egypt, because Egypt is a bit like the civilized Lusitani now, with javelins coming from so many units. They have Thureos, they have Levithyraeus, they have Carian axemen, they have 150 range bows. Yep. So I don't think elephants are a good choice against Egypt. Yeah,
definitely a risky choice. And he's also brought like Nubian bowmen. And yeah, like you said, the 150 range bows, they could definitely destroy these elephants.
I don't see where the elephants are going to come in here and not take a shit ton of fire.
Yep.
There are no angles for the elephants at all.
Yeah.
They would then if the Parthian line manages to engage all the infantry of Diplomatt, then it could be done. But there's just so much infantry, and the pikes in the center are going to pose a problem. It looks like we're going to see skirmishing starting from the Persian light archers here in the center.
They already got a couple of volleys on those Egyptian pikemen. Lost around 8 or 9 men from that. But I don't think Llewelin really wants to take the engagement at this point.
No, he wants to save his archers. He'll probably pull away here because the Rhodians are going to absolutely destroy
those Rhodians will destroy
Persian lights.
What do you know what the shield value for these Rhodians are? Like what percentage chance they have to block missiles?
I think it's 30% block chance because they have the small bronze shield.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's better, I believe the Balearics have a 20% chance, 20 or 25, and then it's 30 for the Rhodians, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do know for a fact that the Rhodians have the better block chance.
Here we can see Llewelyn's getting a couple of shots on the Ptolemaic Cav gen for Memkin, or Diplomatt.
Yep, very nice. It's easy to forget one unit of mercenary summations just running around in the back, so maybe that's what he's going for.
Yeah, that's pretty sneaky tactic.
Just an annoyance factor.
So these,
but I don't see how he's going to engage here and have it be effective.
Exactly, it's kind of weird. I mean, it kind of depends on how Diplomatt plays this. But he's charging very foolishly with his Ptolemaic Cav gen over here. I don't think this is a good move at all.
No, that's risky. That's super risky.
And Llewelin was getting the better of the skirmish engagement as well. And these mercenary Rhodians are caught by Median Cav, it looks like, so they can't.
Very nicely done.
Yep, definitely.
Hillmen are just baiting javelins, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Those Levithyraeus lost a bunch of javelins just to those Hillmen.
Nicely done, but the Hillmen aren't supported, so I don't see what they're trying to do here. They're going to kill exactly 0 thorax swords and just die.
Yeah.
But here we see some nice Median cap, but there's just so many javelins incoming towards Parthia here. Javelins coming in at the Eastern Cataphracts, and the Eastern Cataphracts are dropping. The Ptolemaic charge, that was foolish.
Exactly,
That's
very
going
foolish.
to... Yeah,
And
that's
now
going
these
to cost
elephants are just
Diplomatt.
crashing into these Levithurias. They were, for some reason, they weren't able to run them amok, which is really crazy. I could see a couple of javelin
Yeah.
bodies over there. And they're still not... Oh, there we
Weird.
go. They're out of control now.
Nice.
But I think they'll probably die. Yeah, they're probably going to die very, very quickly, I think.
Yeah, I mean, elephants against this type of build, just super risky. They managed to get into a unit of Levithurios, and that's basically all they did before running amok. That's just terrible for an elephant unit.
The Royal Cataphracts for Llewelin destroyed that Thorax Swordsman and then kited back, and now the Parthian Swordsmen are going to come into attack, or the Hillmen are going to come into attack these depleted Thorax Swords. Actually doing a pretty decent job.
Yep, the Ptolemaic
classic.
cavalry managed to disengage, but the Ptolemaic cavalry is off the field, getting only like 30 kills. So that was a complete waste. Charging with Thoreos against elephants, that's an interesting choice by Diplomatt. And Median cavalry coming in towards its rear, so the Thoreos is going down.
Yeah, Thoreos are definitely going
A
down.
lot of good micro here from Llewelin.
Definitely.
He's using his units very well.
And Memkin's Ptolemaic Cav gen is done. He's
Yep,
really
that's
wasted his
going to-
Ptolemaic Cav gen. I think that was the huge turning point in this battle.
Yeah, you can do that with Cataphracts, but with a 1300 denarii general, it's just too risky.
Exactly.
The elephant's still alive, 200 kills for them. Out of control, going for...
Good lord, they've only
They
lost
haven't lost
one.
a single elephant.
That's crazy.
One elephant.
Yeah, they've lost one elephant, but I mean, you saw the number of javelin volleys they were getting at them.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing how well they were able to take that, actually.
Yeah.
But there isn't a lot of Parthia left on the field.
Definitely.
Not
yeah.
a lot of cavalry.
And Llewellyn's general is just about dead. He's got only like 15 men, and they're getting showered by javelins over there. Getting absolutely slaughtered.
Wow, this is close.
Yeah.
The elephants are the trump card for Diplomatt, of course, if the elephants are able to get good charges, but I don't know. There are still Rhodians left on the field.
And yeah, these elephants are just getting showered by javelins though. And I
Yep.
think these Levithurias are just about done with their javelins at this point.
Yeah, they are super nice units. So cheap. And Citizen Cavalry coming in against the Eastern Cataphracts. The Parthian Cavalry is wavering. Manages to get through. Yep.
Yeah.
They're just so few.
And the Cataphracts really haven't done anything in this battle. It doesn't look like they've done anything. Like the general just got that one charge. The Eastern Cataphracts didn't get anything.
Yeah. But now, I mean, what can Diplomatt do now? It's just... It's not going to... He's not going to be able to do anything. I'm very surprised at how well the elephants were able to do and how well he was able to engage this army.
Would you even say that Llewelyn was a bit lucky with his elephants?
I don't think he was lucky because he moved them towards the flanks and engaged with his cavalry and his infantry so that there would be less volleys incoming. But there is certainly a luck factor with the elephants because some volleys straight up just won't hit the elephants if the elephants are a bit spread out. And if one more volley had hit the elephants and they had run amok a bit earlier, then that would have been really bad for Llewelyn. So there's definitely a luck factor in using the elephants, but also the skill needed to engage enemy units. Because look at the cavalry here of Parthia. The cavalry did nothing in terms of kills except for that one unit of Median cavalry.
But they were still quite a handful. I mean, I think they really influenced this match.
Absolutely they did, but not in terms of kills, because the Parthian swords, they just wrecked shit. I mean, 207 kills for Parthian swords here, 175.
What? That's insane.
But I really think Llewelyn using his Median cavalry, and this is something that I've seen with a lot of the Russian players. I've seen some really weird builds with like 6 citizen cavalry or 6 Carthaginian cavalry, some swords and an elephant, and the cavalry just rushes in, dies, stops the javelins from coming, and then the elephants run in and are practically free to engage what they want.
I mean, it just goes to show like that build kind of works. I mean, this was an Egypt build that was just absolutely ready to take on any kind of elephant threat, but
yeah,
you can see that they've done brilliantly.
There were, for Diplomatt, there were a total of 9 units able to skirmish and 2 pikes.
Wow.
And they were not able to neutralize the elephants. Not even close.
The Rhodians actually did pretty well though, 94 kills with one of them, 29 with the other, so that's kind of a waste, but I think the one that, they probably got a lot of those Persian light archer kills, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But nothing on, I mean, citizen cavalry got some nice kills, probably the Persian light archers. But I mean, nothing on Egypt's side did well at all.
Yep. That's definitely the case. Even though, like on paper, that the moves that Llewelin made were not really wise moves, just on paper. Like you wouldn't
Yeah,
charge, regular
they are
Median
not.
cav on Torreya
Yeah,
spears, but he
absolutely.
did it, and he's really done it effectively.
They're not safe moves, but that's the thing with the way Llewelyn plays. He does unexpected things, because you would think that Thoreos backed up by cavalry would be safe from cavalry charges, but Llewelyn is just going to charge in to stop them throwing their javelins, and then he's going to use his elephant to just wreck the units when they are in disarray. And that's one of the things that's so difficult with facing a player like Llewelyn. I watched Llewelyn beat Panda 3 times in a row, and he just does things that are unexpected, but he knows they work. It seems totally counterintuitive to waste his cavalry. Well, at least in terms of kills, in terms of cost effectiveness, it looks like he basically wasted half his army in terms of cavalry.
With
But he really
Parthia.
didn't, because with Parthia. But he really didn't, because he knew that if he was able to tie down the skirmishers, if he was able to tie down the javelin throwing units, then he was going to be able to roll up the flanks with the elephants, and that was exactly what he did. But I think Diplomatt made a mistake in his deployment, because the wide deployment can be effective in stopping yourself from getting surrounded, but it also spreads out your skirmishing power. So if someone starts to move around the flanks with elephants, you're not going to be able to engage the elephants with your 9 skirmishers. You're maybe only going to be able to engage them with 2 skirmishers.
True.
So keeping everything a lot closer together would make it harder for the elephants to push through. It would mean that there would be a lot more fire concentrated in a smaller area. And against elephants, I think it's very smart to just go into a more compact formation that has several layers of defense, instead of relying on just a wide front.
Yeah, imagine if he had like a lot of. So you can see he's got 2 Torreas, he's got some more Torreas, some Levy Torreas, some regular Torreas. If he managed to get at least 5 or 6 of them on those elephants, Parthia would have lost immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah, just instant. If he would have had several layers of skirmishers instead of the 1 layer behind the infantry, then okay, you can tie down 1 layer of skirmishers, but the second layer is going to be able to pour in a lot of fire. So it's always easy to sit in retrospect and talk about what the players should have done or could have done. But I think going up against chariots and elephants, it is a very smart choice to go for a more compact formation.
So a really aggressive build and really aggressive playstyle by Llewelin actually wins in the match against Diplomatt, who on paper actually had a pretty decent army to at least counter Parthian's more kind of
absolutely
weird army, I would say.
But if Llewelyn played this game in a standard Parthian way, if he engaged with his skirmishers for a long time, if he tried to move around with his cavalry instead of going straight in, I think Diplomatt's build would have been able to work a lot better.
Yeah, would have been able to weather the storm, kind of. But since he just concentrated his attack, he just managed to destroy... he basically sacrificed his cav, like you said, which is an incredibly aggressive and very risky playstyle. But it just kind of exactly ties in with what you said before the match started, in that these guys can go all out. Like, when they play aggressively, they play really aggressively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen this playstyle used against Llewelyn as well. And the thing with this playstyle is, if your micro is slightly off, you're a bit too slow on the reactions, then this playstyle flat out just won't work. It's super micro intensive, and you just need to be on point with your timing at all times. So it's definitely a very skill based playstyle. I think it's not as much rushing as it is just picking strategic targets, sacrificing units to stop the enemy counters, and then just using your killing power to overpower the enemy. Because I would never have expected Parthian swords to get this amount of kills against the army they were up against.
These are some ridiculous kills. 207, 140, 175, 88. That's
it's
insane.
Absolutely crazy. But when this starts happening, when you have cavalry charges happening all across your line, you have to start microing. I think it's very easy to overwhelm a player with just giving him too much to do, so that he isn't able to do what he needs to counter the one important unit. And the one important unit here, it was the elephants. But Diplomatt wasn't able to deal with the elephants because there was just so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, actually, I would say the most important unit was this mercenary Sarmatian horse archer unit.
Yeah.
A whopping 27 kills.
And that unit died as well. But that's the thing, he might have just put it in the rear of Diplomatt, just to push the cavalry of Diplomatt a bit further forward and negate the opportunity to kite back. That might have been the idea, I don't know. But
That's true. I mean, if that was his intention, that's actually really smart.
yeah, it might have been the way I know Llewelin. That might have just been the idea. Just keep a unit there to basically stop kiting, because it's not fun to kite when there are even when there is a single horse archer in your rear. It's not fun to start kiting.
Definitely.
And he could have used it to charge Nubian bowmen and Rhodians to stop them from firing as well. So I think that was the idea too, to maybe just run in and stop a few skirmishers from firing at elephants.
So, very good match and very good commentary as usual, Maximus.
Thank you. Same to you. It was very fun to co-cast this. I think we could pick up on a lot more stuff together than we could alone.
Yeah, and it's fun. We should definitely do more of this in the future.
Let's.
All right, guys.
Absolutely.
That's the end of this commentary. Any closing thoughts, Maximus?
Strength and honor.
As perfect a note to end it as anything. Anyways, guys, we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.